Hi, the signs of the zodiac. I'm Pam, the Lucky Mermaid, psychic, seer, and modern mystic, bringing you psychic predictions and messages from my spirit guides for this mid-month psychic tarot update for August of 2025 for each sign of the zodiac. Please be sure to watch your sun sign, your rising sign, and your moon sign to get a more clear and complete picture of what's to come for you in August and perhaps beyond, because timing will be different for all of you in these general readings. Remember, sometimes your rising sign and your moon sign will resonate more for you than your sun sign. And if you're born on the cusp of your sign, sometimes your psychic predictions and messages are coming to you from there, so you may want to check your cusp sign out. So before I move on to this reading, I just want to let you know that I am now on Patreon. So the videos I sell on Vimeo are now available on Patreon on the shop tab, and you can buy them individually. Also, my videos are still available on Vimeo, so if you like to purchase them there, they're still available on Vimeo. I also want to let you know there is a tier on Patreon that you can go to that will give you early access to my full moons, new moons, and mid-month updates and special written content, and anything else I may decide to add onto that tier as this Patreon gets going, because it's a new thing to me. So you may want to check out Tier 1, which is a paid membership, but you can go over to Patreon for free, and I do post some things for free over there as well. So all that being said, now on to your mid-month Psychic Tarot update, and I'm starting with the sign of Aries. Aries, the first card you got of the two is the Nine of Pentacles, and this is being at peace and contentment with your life and having financial stability and abundance behind you. You're like seeing things that you can do to upgrade your life, improve your life. Could be upgrading your business or anything in your life. Like you're seeing things like how you can upgrade things. And you may want to take time in August to, like spend time with your kids, with your family, with your pets. You may also feel like you're trying to figure out the next step in the game, like the game is changing. And that could have to do with technology. It could have to do with, could be happening at your work or in a business you own, but you could feel like that the game is changing out in the world. And so in other ways, and you may feel like, I need to get abreast of this situation, get ahead of it, like figure out like what's my next steps, what's my next moves, what do I need to expand, what do I need to grow, what areas do I need to learn, new techniques, new technologies, new information. If you are an Aries that has built something solid, it's going to keep growing. You may even be putting yourself out there in a new way. Could have to do with a new look, could have to do with things you create in your business or in some other way, but putting yourself out there in a new way. Like I said, it could be appearance, could be in work that you're doing, for a business or company that you work for, or a business or company that you own. It could be putting yourself out there in the world in a new, like if you want to date somebody or get out there socially to, make new friends, make new associations, networking. So any of those areas, socially and networking and or dating, you may be putting yourself out there in a whole new way. You could be putting together package deals that you're going to sell. Maybe you go to fairs and festivals or Maybe you sell things online or on the internet. You may be putting together things in a package deal. So the next card you have that came up with it is the Three of Cups. And this is parties, gatherings, and celebrations. You could be attending a party. You could be throwing a party. This could be three sisters, three females, three friends, help from friends. It could also indicate a celebratory conclusion of something going on for you in the mid-month of August, or maybe even moving on further into September and beyond. Some of you are giving up some things, giving up some whole old ideas. It could be giving up like food. Maybe you're going to give up sugar or gluten or meat or something. So giving up things comes up here, but it could also be ideas, ideologies, beliefs, and feelings about stuff. You could be giving these things up. Time will be well spent for you to broaden your knowledge and your education and your experience. You could have a family member that's going through a difficult time that could be trying to figure out a new place to live, or maybe they're not even going through a difficult time. Maybe they're just trying to find a new home or a new apartment. But for some of you, they could be going through a difficult time. So you may be helping them, like, you know, find a new home, find a new apartment, find a new space for a business if they owned a business and they had to, you know, they need a new space for whatever the reason. You may be helping them in that area. And complications could arise when family members get involved. There could be, you know, the old saying, too many cooks in the kitchen can spoil the broth. Well, that could be what could happen if you have too many family members like butting in or getting involved or getting in the mix of it. And if it's not family members, it could just be other people involved in the situation. They could be just getting involved and causing too much confusion or delays or complications. Some of you are going to start building a house, or you could be building like a garage, a shed, or a secondary building. But it could be a house, could be a vacation home. So some of you could be building a home. So I hope those messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. Now on to the sign of Taurus. Hi Taurus, the first card you have is the Six of Pentacles. And this is a card that symbolizes giving generously, freely, and charitably to others. It could also indicate receiving generosity and charity from others. It can mean the balance of give and take. It could also indicate financial success could be coming to you in the future. Some of you may have experienced some financial losses in the past or recent past. And this could be a month, August could be a month where you're like really trying to build up your finances, figure out ways to do it, or working on doing that. Something you're doing and putting out there to the world could be a product, could be a service, could be a video, could be anything that you're putting out there to the world could really capture the attention of people. And they may be interested in getting whatever this is. It could be a book, it could be a piece of music, it could be something you're selling, it could be a PowerPoint presentation, it could be whatever. And it could really grab the attention of people, and they may be like, hey, we want to, you know, get your product. We want to get your service. We want to get that book. We want to get that picture you created. We want to get that computer program you're selling, whatever it is, or an app or something like that. You may feel like you have to give a lot this month, and you may be having to tap in and draw from your resources. And it could be to help someone out. It could be donations you want to make to, a country or a group of people that are in need. It could also be even having to give a lot emotionally, like, pouring your heart and soul and giving of other things that are in you. You may have to give a lot this month. And you may need to fast track something because you could be in a situation, either romantically or work-wise or even socially, that's getting wonky and wobbly and wonky. And you may be like, you know what, I got to fast track something here because it's like I'm seeing a wobbly wheel on a cart. And if you don't fast track something, fix something, get something secured, that wobbly wheel is going to continue and it's going to create chaos and disruption. But you have a really good card here with it. You have the Six of Rods, which is victory after a battle. So you're being victorious here in some way. You could be a Taurus that's going to start to have group chats, group conversations, PowerPoint presentations, speeches, teaching classes, coaching, but anything involving making presentations and speaking comes up here. And there could be a green light given to you on some kind of project that you were hoping to start. So if you needed the green light from a boss or a manager or an owner or a supervisor of a company or business you work for, that could be the green light. It could also be the green light if you were trying to build or create something at home in your environment, and you needed a permit or, approval of the town or something like that. You could be getting a green light on some project you're going to create. Maybe you're going to build a gazebo or build an addition on your house or something like that, and you need the town to give you permits, approve it, and all of that. And I also feel you're having a greater awareness where you're viewing things in some area of your life where you're like, you know what, I've been slacking over there on that, or I've been letting things slide in this area and I can't do that. Maybe you're letting things slide with your kids too much, or your home, or keeping it straight or organized, or letting things slide too much with, if you're a boss, your employees, maybe you're letting things slide too much with the employees, or in some area of your life. Maybe it's your diet and exercise. Maybe you're like, man, I've been letting that slide. I've been eating all these things that aren't good for me, et cetera, et cetera. So I see you having some kind of awareness, and you're looking at this area, or maybe more than one area, and you're like, you know what, I got to get this back on track and get it in alignment. And you will be successful in doing it because this is victory after a battle here after all. So I hope these messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. Now on to the sign of Gemini. Hi, Gemini. The first card you have for this mid-month update is the Three of Pentacles. And this is expanding your work, expanding your business, expanding your craft, expanding your skills, focusing on craftsmanship and attention to detail. This could be like getting a promotion, expanding your business, things of that nature. Some of you are looking at things that you can see in your environment that you can correct, you can fix, you can build it up better. You may be thinking that also about a business you have or a website. You may also be putting some energy and focus on investments you have and making some adjustments or changes that could really help you out financially. So if you're somebody that's invested in the stock market or cryptocurrency, or something else, anything else you could be invested in, you may be like tweaking it, buying more stocks in a particular stock, or selling them off, or switching them to something else, or things of that nature. If you do that, whatever you do, I feel it will financially work out for you. Some of you may really be going through anything that's been like fractured, broken, needs repairs. This could even be to your finances. It could be to your business, but it could be to investments, but it could be things in your environment, like literal, tangible things that need replacing, repairing, and fixing and upgrading. You may have to change wiring. There could be wiring in your home that needs adjusting, electrical. You may want to have your electrical wires checked. There could be things that need rewiring. It could even be in a car or in something mechanical. It doesn't necessarily just have to be in your house, but rewiring something or things comes up here for you in this mid-month of August. Now, the card you have with it is the Four of Cups, and the other sign that got that for August is Sagittarius. So you have the Four of Cups here, which is ruminating, going within, overanalyzing, pulling at straws, worryment, worrying about the past, maybe pondering a decision, getting some kind of opportunity or blessing could come out of the blue unexpectedly to you. It could be connected to the Three of Pentacles, or it could be a totally separate message. There could be something that you're really pondering that you can't understand why either people are not communicating with you or being put off by you, or something that you're doing is not working right or not going through the way that you want it to. You could find yourself at a crossroads in the middle of August. You may feel like you put a lot of thought and time and effort and energy into people. This could be socially, friendship groups, clubs, groups, or organizations you've belonged to. This could be a love relationship. It could be with family. Or even business, where you feel like you've poured a lot of energy into something and you're like kind of wondering why things aren't jumping up to the level you want them to, or people are not paying attention to what you're saying or doing, or kind of ignoring you or overlooking you in some way. But I feel like you get some kind of reprieve or restitution at the end of August. I feel it's the very last week, from the 25th especially on. You could have created something and you're like, nobody's buying it, or nobody's noticing it, or nobody's paying attention to it. It could have to do with timing, when it was launched. That's a big thing. It could also have to do with just timing, divine timing, or timing of what's going on with, things in the world at the moment could be causing some of these things to happen. Some of you could get some kind of opportunity to showcase your work, where somebody could invite you to attend something, or give a demonstration or be part of something. You could do like a collaborative effort with somebody, and that could help pump up all of what was, be helpful to you to get that recognition, whether it's product recognition, service recognition, something you've created or done, or for you personally. Collaborating or getting intertwined with somebody could help like break the, I don't know what to call it, like clear up the block that you may be experiencing. So I hope those messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. Now on to the sign of Cancer. Hi, Cancer. So the first card you have in your reading today for this mid-month update is the Two of Swords. And this is being protective of yourself, or it could be a block, a stop, or a stalemate. There's emotions tied up here. It could be that you have to make some kind of decision. You need to be clear. I feel like your mind is not totally clear about what you want. You could be trying to get things going, making things happen, and it could be like things just, timing isn't right. Very similar to Gemini. Timing could be not right for you. There could be legal issues, legal battles, or legal documents that make you want to stay away from something. It could be a person. It could be something else, but there could be, or concerns that something legal could crop up. So you may be like, whoa, I don't want to get involved in any kind of legal, hoopla. So I'm avoiding that or staying away from it. It could be a product, a service, a company, a business, I don't know, or something you want to put out there and say. And you might be like, you know what, I want to make this statement and I want to do this and that. But if I do, there could be legal ramifications. That could be on your mind. You may feel like trying hard to please others hasn't always worked for you. And you may be thinking strongly now, like, well, I got to look after myself. I have to take care of myself. I have to do things that please myself. You might be thinking that in August. If you're a Cancer sun, moon, or rising, you could have issues with your knees in August. They could be bothering you now. It could be arthritis, bursitis, other types of joint problems. You may even need some kind of like getting injections in your knees, or getting surgery for your knees may pop up now at this time. So the card you have with it is the Eight of Cups, and this is turning away from what's not working for you anymore, emotionally speaking, and heading off on a journey with a stick of power and control in your hand. And even though the journey's unknown, you're still willing to take it. You may feel like you can't have what you want in dealing with a certain group of people. So you may feel like, I'm moving on. It could be at a club, a group, an organization, a church. It could be a family or a family situation. It could be an in-law situation. It could be a love partnership where you just feel like, I can't really get what I want emotionally, mentally, spiritually, or physically. So from whatever this group is, so you may feel like you need to move on. You got to be careful of your digestion. You could eat something that is not good or creates digestive problems for you. I'm going to say something weird. Welcome to Psychic Readings. Pickled herring or herring in general, but it could just be talking about fish. I would avoid that in August because I feel like there's something with that that could cause a problem for you. You may feel like you're in a situation where nobody's listening to you. This came up for Gemini too, so you cuspers of Gemini and Cancer, these messages may apply to both of you. I get where you feel, if you feel like nobody's listening to you or paying attention to you or acknowledging you or your work or your skills, you may feel like, I can't get anywhere at this job, at this company, or in this church, or with this group of people, or this club. I'm out of here. I'm getting out of here. I feel it could even be with a, you know, like I said earlier, family or a love partner situation you could feel this way about. I feel like you've put up with a lot. You've given a lot. You've put up with a lot. I feel like your mind had been cluttered, but I do feel that as August progresses, especially towards the end of the month, I do feel that Cancers are having more clarity. So I hope this reading was of help to you, and I hope it made sense. I want to thank you so much for watching these videos. Don't forget to please like this video and share it with others if you feel it's worth sharing. So now on to the sign of Leo. Hi, Leo. The first card you have is the Three of Rods, which is waiting patiently for success to come in, letting go of something so success can come to you, or being at the beginning phases of a successful business venture. The other sign to get this for this mid-month update is Capricorn. So Capricorns and Leos got Three of Rods. I feel like you're making a new start to something that you have governance over. Also, if you purchased anything overseas, you're waiting for it to come in, and it will be on its way to you. I also feel like it could be a month where you really want to get things in order, especially if you feel like your home or business environment or work has gotten congested or cluttered. You may feel like, well, I'm getting rid of this stuff. I'm going to get rid of it to like clear up and free up space and declutter. Some of you could be actually waiting for something to come in from another country that will organize things for you. Could be a piece of furniture. Could be maybe it's not from overseas. Maybe it's just coming from a distance, and that you're going to utilize it to like organize something that you own that you feel like, well, I don't like. So you're either decluttering stuff because you got new stuff coming, or you're buying something to put organization and put things in to help with organization and clutter. If you have to do any documents, write any documents, oh, Leo, read the fine print. Make sure you're reading the fine print on any contracts or documents. I do feel like you have some wealth and abundance that's growing here. I feel like you could find that to be true in the second half of August. And if you don't see it at that point, I feel like October is a good month for you financially, with financial gains. You could be developing things too that could be successful for you, but you may be keeping it on the down low and keeping it under wraps for right now. You might not be talking about it to other people. Next card you have with it is the Page of Pentacles. This is an earth sign person, Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo. Sun, moon, or rising sign person. It could be you if you have a sun, moon, or rising sign that is an earth sign. Pages can be children. They can also be adults that are immature or young at heart, or a messenger, and it could be bringing in a message about money or things of value. You could be doing some kind of studying or analyzing of something that's being put out there that's interesting to you or you feel is going to be helpful to you that's coming from an earth sign creator or person. This could also be somebody that if you need to hire somebody, privately to do work in your home environment or at a business, you may be hiring this person. They could be an apprentice, you know, or like just out of college or just out of high school or new into the world of whatever you do for work or business. So you may be mentoring them, or they may be a new hire or an apprentice to you. And they could be taking things apart and putting things back together. This may be something you're having them do. So this could be somebody you're hiring to like fix your oven, washer, dryer, plumbing, taking it apart, fixing it, putting it back together. It could be somebody like that. This could also be somebody you're hiring for a business that you run or own, and they may be somebody that you need them to take things apart and fix them and put them back together. I feel like this would be somebody that would be devoted. They could be a hard worker. If this is one of your children, if you have a earth sign, sun, moon, or rising sign child, you may be overseeing them take something apart and put it back together again. So I hope those messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. Now on to the sign of Virgo. Hi Virgo. So the first card you have in your reading is the King of Pentacles, and this is an earth sign person, Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo, sun sign, rising sign, or moon sign. So this could be you, Virgo. I feel like you're starting to feel more bold and brash, but especially bold with your ideas. And it feels to me like you want to come through in a strong way, on a strong platform, to make things happen. And you may be thinking about ways to make you look sharper, spruce up or elevate your appearance. Maybe you want to look more professional or more put together, or for whatever reason. This could be at work, it could be to do with your own business, maybe you make videos. You could capitalize on some kind of financial gain that comes to you through another. So this could be your spouse or significant other. It could be money coming to you from an inheritance or a gift of cash, and you may be like going to do something good with it now, like put it to good use. You could invest it. You could be, maybe you're going to go on a trip, or you know, pay down your debts, or something that would be considered to you putting it to good use. Some of you Virgos are going to let somebody have something that you've had a while that you're going to give away. It could be a car, it could be a boat, it could be something else, a camera, a watch. I don't know what it's going to be, but there's something you have of value that I see you giving it away. But I do feel like you're giving it to somebody you know. But for some of you, you could be giving it, like donating it. It's possible, but I see you giving something away of value to somebody. Be careful you don't make a big deal out of nothing. This could be a month where you may have a tendency to like blow things up out of proportion. It's a good month for you to meditate and say positive affirmations and mantras to keep yourself on a very level and even keel. So the card you have with it is the Knight of Rods, and this is a fire sign person, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, sun sign, rising sign, or moon sign. It could be you, Virgo, if you have a sun, moon, or rising sign that is a fire sign. You could be traveling, you could be jumping on a plane or a train, or even a cruise, because I get you boarding something you're traveling. I also see you finalizing things in like a baggage claim area. Many of you will be flying somewhere, or whether it's for pleasure or work. There could be a break in a chain of command. Systems could get roughed up and be changed. So this could be happening at a place where you work, or a business or company you own, work for, or do business with. I get like it's coming up like situations there at whatever this business is getting roughed up. And like, you know, maybe people getting mad, people getting fired, things getting restructured and, you know, reorganized. This could be also somebody that you trust and you really value their insight and opinion. This could be somebody that they're going to leave and jump ship, and it could cause waves and problems. So this could be if you own a business, or this could be somebody in your family. They could decide that they're going to leave. They could be the ones getting on a plane or traveling, and because my guides say jumping ship, and that could cause issues. You know, it could make waves and cause disruptions, especially in a business or in a family situation. So I hope those messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. Now on to the sign of Libra. And please make sure to stick around to the very end of the video to see the special picture I have for you of Max, Maxie Boy. He's actually snoring in the other room right now. Sometimes he comes in here and snores. Sometimes he's in there and snores. And in the comments section, many times people want to see pictures of Max. So I'm trying to do that every month of a different picture of Max. So stick around to the very end of this video to see Max. Hi, Libra. So the first card you have in your reading for this mid-month update for August is the Two of Cups. And this is a card that symbolizes fate, destined, meant to be, preordained, love relationship. It could be twin flames, soulmates. But remember, you can also have soulmate energy with a best friend or one of your kids. You could have some issues and be experiencing some kind of communication breakdown with your partner or with somebody else in your life in August, maybe even moving into September. You could be with somebody where you really see things the same way and be on the same page, but there could be some kind of like disconnect or distance between the two of you in August. If you've been dating somebody, you guys may decide it's better for you to just remain friends. If you are coupled, you may be going through some kind of counseling, couples counseling, or if you're getting married, you have to go talk to, you know, if you're getting married in a church, sometimes they make you go together with your partner to like premarital like conversations with at the church. Some churches do that, so it could be that kind of counseling, but it could be couples counseling. You know, it's weird because I don't let the cards flip upside down, right? So even though the card looks good, you may say, why are you getting that? Well, probably if I let the cards flip upside down, for some of you, this would have been upside down, because I do feel that some of you could be at odds with your partner or deciding that you want to split, or talking about it, or you could be thinking about it. If you partner up with somebody this month, there could be criticism that comes up for you from people around you or the other person that don't like it or don't agree with it. So that could happen here as well. So the card you have with it is the Five of Cups. And the Five of Cups is a card that symbolizes sadness, loss, and regret. And not all hope is lost, because there's still two cups upright. You could feel like you're going through some kind of emotional downturn. If you're talking about breaking up with somebody, you may feel like you really don't want to do that. You could have disappointment about like how the relationship used to be. And you could feeling regret, like now it's not the same, it's changed. But you know, it could be because of planetary stuff going on affecting you too. It could be because of that. There could be something in your life, if you're not coupled with somebody, there could be something you're trying to get figured out or make work, and it's just not coming together. It's just not working properly. It could be something you are trying to make happen, something you're trying to get going. You could have regrets, like you should have just stayed where you were. Now you're dealing with some kind of disappointment. This could be at a job, could be at a company or business you worked for. You may have left. And now you may be having regrets, like, I wish I never left that company or business. Or if you leave a relationship, you may wish that you had never left that relationship, because I get you having like regrets about either something that's happening right now or something you did already that now you're having the regrets about it now. You also could have been like manipulated, or my guides are using the words snowed. That's what they're saying in my head. So somebody could have snowed you, like, you know, told you, oh yeah, this is going to be great. It's the best. It's top of the line, or go there. You're going to love it. Or, you know, oh, it's the absolute best. It's the best car you can buy, or it's the greatest trip you could ever go on, or it's the one, and or it could be a person, an individual in a relationship could have snowed you, because I'm getting the word snowed here. So just stuff to think on. And if you know, feel like these messages don't apply to you, you need to watch your sun, your moon, and your rising sign really to get a clear picture. And this is just a quick update. Don't forget to watch the August readings I do and put out there at the very end of July for the month of August, because, you know, you may have more, you may resonate more with those messages. I don't know. I can't tell with the sun, moon, and rising signs of each sign. I don't know what's going to resonate for who. So now on to the sign of Scorpio. Hi, Scorpio. First card you have is the Chariot. And this is a card that symbolizes having to choose between two different paths. It can also indicate long distance travel. It can mean change is going to occur. It can also indicate success in some cases. It's like I feel like Scorpios are working on building something within themselves, especially things that boost them up and build up their self-esteem. You may also feel like you need a break or a vacation. Things could have been, you know, like putting pressure on you and stress lately. If there was something that you were trying to get accepted into, a class, a course, a training program, a college, a university, I don't know, a club, a group, an organization, I feel like you get accepted in August. And any kind of old wishes or dreams or goals you had in the past look like they come in for you now. You may have been waiting for certain things to come through, come in, come to fruition, especially if it's involving a goal, a wish, a dream, or a desire. I feel like it comes in for you in, the end of August or in September. And it could be like if you were waiting for like a loan or some kind of finances to come through for you that you've been hoping for or waiting for, I feel like that happens for you in August. I feel like your energy and your vibrations and your vibrational patterns are changing, that you're going to be vibrating at a different frequency that's going to start being like the law of attraction frequency. So I feel like Scorpios are going to go through a period of time where you're going to feel like, hey, all this stuff I was hoping for, like getting that job or getting that money I wanted, or, whatever it's been, are going to start to like show up now. That's interesting. So the card you have with it is the Fool. That's starting out on a new path and a new journey with high hopes and high aspirations, but you have to have your wits about you and not have your head in the clouds and be based in reality, or you could fall off the cliff. So you don't want to have rose-colored glasses on, but it is a good card of a new journey. So interesting, you have two major arcana cards here. And with the manifesting energy you got going on, and Chariot can also indicate travel or making a decision or a choice on a path. And now you have the Fool, which is a new journey. It's like you being a dream maker, dream weaver, things coming true for you. Anything that you had been assembling in your mind like a plan, these plans start to come to fruition, come together. You may go somewhere, see somebody you haven't seen for a long time, or that you knew, like you knew them a long time ago. You may go visit them in the month of August, or maybe even September. And if you're in a relationship or in your career, you may be wanting to take something up to the next level. So if you've been dating somebody, maybe you want to get more serious with them, or it could be a business you have. Maybe you've had it running at this particular level and now you want to take the business up to the next level. Or it could be in a position where you work. Maybe you're like, okay, I've been at this position for a while. Now I want to move up and see if I can get up to the next level. If you live in an area where there's been certain things that have been closing, shutting down, or changing in some way, especially closings and things shutting down, you may decide you want to move to a different area. You may feel like this area is becoming too desolate or inconvenient. Like maybe, post office where you went, food store you used to go to, places you used to go on a regular basis to eat or buy food or to shop. There could be too many things closing or shutting down, and that may cause you to want to move. Or if you own your own business and that's happening around where your business is, you may feel like, okay, that's happening too much. I don't feel like it's enough activity in this area. I need to move. So you have to see how that makes sense for you, Scorpio. So I hope this reading was of help to you, and I hope it made sense. Now on to the sign of Sagittarius. Hi, Sagittarius. So the first card you have that came up in your reading for this mid-month update is the Seven of Swords. This is somebody lying to you, stealing from you, or deceiving you. You have to be careful of a break-in. There could be a break-in in your car, or a break-in in your home, or a break-in in a business that you own. Or it could even be in your neighborhood. Maybe it won't happen to you, but it might be happening in your street or area, and that could mean, be affecting you because you're like worried that it could happen to you. You could start to see the shadow side of somebody this month, and this could be a business partner or a friend. I don't really feel like it's a love partner. Now, for some of you, it could be because this is a general reading, but I feel more like it's a friend or a coworker or business associate. And I feel like they are going through problems in their personal life, which is going to affect how they're going to behave and what they're doing. You've got to make sure of your security and your safety. Lock your doors. Maybe you need to change your locks or get additional locks or other types of security. You could have your finances could be under scrutiny. If there was any issues with taxes, there could be like in the United States, we have the IRS, Internal Revenue Service. I don't know what it's called in other countries. I'm sure you all have different names for what it's called in your own country, but your money could be under scrutiny, like they think you didn't pay the right amount or something with your finances in another way. So you also have to be careful of your bank accounts, credit cards, credit card statements, credit card accounts. Like you got to look at all of that and be super, super careful about all of it. So the card you have with it is the Four of Cups, and the other sign that got that in August is Gemini. So you and Gemini got Four of Cups, which is ruminating, going within, overanalyzing, pulling at straws, worrying about the past. Could be you having difficulty in making a decision, or you're pondering a decision. There could be some kind of blessing or opportunity that could come to you. I feel that some of you are going to be disappointed because you didn't heed this warning. Or there could have been signs and symbols around the area of like break-ins happening, and you didn't heed the warnings of that, where you just like, make sure you get like floodlights, security lights. Maybe you want to get security cameras, ring cameras on your doorbell, whatever. Some of you could feel like, I hope it wouldn't come to this. I don't want to be here anymore. I want to move. Now that could have to do with the Seven of Swords, but it could just be maybe there are other things going on in your neighborhood or area that you hadn't planned on moving yet, but it's, my nose is itching, so that's truth. That you weren't like, oh, I'm going to stay here for X amount of years. Well, maybe that's changing and you can't stay there that long. Now maybe you feel it's necessary for you to move on, to get moving. Some of you could have an opportunity of a new job could get offered to you in August or September. It may be not easy for you to decide about it. You may have a lot of factors and things to do with it that you need to consider. So even if somebody offers you some kind of opportunity or job, I don't feel like it's necessarily like clear cut for you to do it or take it. I feel like you're going to be like pondering it, maybe not being 100% sure about it in the month of August. If you've been waiting for some kind of communication, could even be money, but I feel it's more like communication, to come through for you, I feel like it does. Like something you've been waiting to hear back about. Maybe you put a bid on an offer on a house and you're waiting to see, did you win? Did you win that bid? Do you get the house? Or, maybe you have a loved one that's overseas in a different country, or they're in the armed forces and you're worried about what's going on with them, and you're waiting or hoping to hear from them. And you get the communication, you do hear from them. So waiting to hear from somebody for a variety of reasons also comes up here in this reading. So be sure to watch your rising sign, sun sign, and moon sign. If you know all three, you may want to watch them to get a more clear picture of what's to come for you in these general readings. Because I don't know whether I'm talking more to Sagittarius rising or Sagittarius moon or Sagittarius sun. I don't know. And it'll be different for all of you. Some of you Sagittarians that have Sag moon are going to say this speaks to you a lot. So hope these messages were of help to you. Now on to the sign of Capricorn. Hi, Capricorn. First card you have is the Three of Rods, which is waiting patiently for success to come in, letting go of something so success can come to you, or being at the beginning of a successful business venture. The other sign to get this was Leo. I feel like you're looking to change things, change documents, change the parameters of something. It could be documents, it could be job descriptions, it could be direction of a company or business that you own, like looking to change like systems, structures. You could be doing something different with a business you own, or going in a new direction on a new business venture that could actually be very successful to you and like catapult you into success. You may find out through the grapevine how things are done in another business or another company, or in some area that you're already involved in that you didn't know how something worked. And you could get that knowledge and information now. This could be like also if you are like modeling your business or a project after something that someone else has done or created, you may find out the inner workings of how it functions, how it was put together, how it works. Some of you could be paying a lot of attention to the stars and focusing heavily on astrology in the month of August going into September. If you are a professional in that area, you could be putting together a computer program or some special offer or some kind of package deal or something people can subscribe to and, get the benefits of, like an app or a program especially, it could be anything. It doesn't have to be just focusing on astrology, but that did come up here. Looking at the stars, so it could have to do with astronomy as well, or astrology. This could be a month where, like, people are gifting you little things. It could be coming from your kids, nieces, nephews, grandkids, or it could be just people you're in a family with or friendships with, and you could have, or clients or customers. Could be a month where they're giving you a lot of little things. The card you have with it is the Two of Rods. So you have the Two of Rods and you have the Three of Rods. The Two of Rods is partnership in business, partnership in romance, or something you're creating and putting out there into the world. This is a month that some of you will be finalizing deals. And you're going to hold people accountable for things that didn't go right. Like if you got ripped off or you bought things that aren't working properly or glitching, or if you have like employees that you hire, like to babysit your kids, to walk your dog, to clean your home, to put up sheetrock in your home or windows. Like if people are not, that you're paying, are not doing things properly, you're going to be holding them accountable for those inconsistencies or inaccuracies or problems in this month of August and in September. Some of you are going to be putting valuables up for auction or for sale. It could be your home, it could be personal objects, it could be online auctions, it could be at an auction house, it could also be just putting them up for sale, like if you're putting up your house for sale, or if you have somebody else in your life has passed away and you inherited their property, you could be putting their house up for sale or their personal items up for auction. You could be registering for something. It could be school. It could be at some kind of clinic. It could be for some kind of special services. But, I mean, it could be registering to vote. But I don't think it's that. I feel it's more like registering for something that's at an institution or a system that you have to register to. The heat could be getting to you in August. You may be getting heat stroke, heat rashes, sunburns, but especially like feeling overheated comes up here. So be careful of that. Try to stay cool, Capricorn. So I hope those messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. Now on to the sign of Aquarius. Hi, Aquarius. The first card you have in your reading is the Hierophant. And this is a card that symbolizes a priest or a pope or God giving you a blessing or a warning. It could also indicate higher education or higher learning. You could be the student or the teacher. Sometimes the Hierophant or Hierophant, however you like to pronounce it, could indicate religion. You're starting to get yourself in a muck. My guides say stop it. So what muck are you getting yourself into? You have to heed the signs and symbols that are popping up and cropping up around you. My guides are saying you're not paying attention. Oh, they're also saying, watch where you're walking. Well, they say you could take a tumble off the cliff. You could stumble and fall. So you better be careful, like where you're walking. You could step off a curb. I walked my dog a couple years ago, and I fell off a curb because it was painted and I didn't realize it dipped down. I thought it was all level, and I stepped off of it, and I hurt my knees so badly from that, walking Max in the morning. And I was just like looking around, paying attention to like the scenery, the area, and bam, I really got hurt. So you Aquarians need to watch where you're walking, because you could really get hurt. You also need to be careful that you're not getting on people's nerves. You could need to take a step back. So if you're being very like obtuse, dictatorial, too bold, too screechy, too complaining, too opinionated, too something, you may want to like reevaluate like how you're talking to people. How are you handling situations? How are you problem solving? Are you being overly critical? Are you being too loud? Or like you need to like analyze what you're doing, because I feel like some of you Aquarians are getting on some people's nerves. And don't get mad at me. I'm an Aquarius, so apparently maybe I'm getting on your nerves right now. You know, I don't know. I have to heed this warning myself. I'm like, really? Okay. I hear that there are some things that are happening in the unseen world or behind the scenes that you can't see right now that will end up making you feel like some things are turning around and going in your favor, but you probably aren't going to really realize that or see it until you're well into the month of September. The card you have that's with it, Aquarius, is the Sun. This is a card that symbolizes childhood joy, exuberance, and happiness like you had when you were a child. It can mean spotlight being on you, success in the material world. It can also indicate the birth of a child. Sometimes the Sun can mean love. There could be some appointment or time slot that you were really hoping for and really wanting to get, and I feel like you're going to get it. You're going to get that appointment, or you're going to get that time slot. You may also feel like you want to do things to yourself, your face, your hair, your clothes, your environment, and have brighter colors associated to you, on you, around you. If you've been going through a rough time or a rough patch in any kind of health issues, I feel that it like improves, or you have some kind of like health improvement or turnaround. Things start to go well for you. Some of you could be making some kind of an important announcement, and you're hoping, it's almost like you make this announcement and you're hoping to get something from the announcement. Well, that will happen. So if you started something new, or you are going to start something new, or a project or a business or a plan or an idea, or a gathering that you're going to have, and you make some kind of an announcement, it's going to go the way you wanted it to go. You will get the results you want from whatever you announce in the mid-month of August, or even going into September. If there's something you want to sell, you're going to do very well selling it in August. If you were hoping for a serious relationship, one could show up for you now, or a relationship that you're in could become more serious. So I hope these messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. Now on to the sign of Pisces. Hi, Pisces. So the first card you have is the Page of Cups, and this is a water sign person, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, sun sign, rising sign, or moon sign. This very likely could be you. Pages can be children. They can also be adults that are immature or young at heart. And pages can bring messages, which could be a message about psychic ability, intuition, or love and emotions. I feel like you have to take your time about something that you are going to decide, like taking time and making a decision. And you may be putting a lot of energy and effort into like what you can do for a job or a career or in some hobby or some other thing that you could do that would really make you happy, where you're putting your, where you would be putting your time, your energy, your effort, and what brings you joy, what brings you happiness. And it's kind of like you have to dust off your self-esteem. So like if you feel like your self-esteem has gotten some hits where you feel like maybe underappreciated or unloved or I don't know, like whatever could hit your self-esteem, it's like you kind of have to like pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and don't let that happen. Don't let people bring you down. Don't be too hard on yourself. Don't be too, critical, self-critical. You may feel very winsome, where you're like, you see where things were lost. This could be like opportunities or, and you may be going back in your past, like thinking back, like, well, when I was a kid or when you were a, teenager or whatever past is for you. And you may feel like that could be contributing to this feeling of, I don't know if I want to say lack of self-esteem, but where things didn't go the way you wanted them to. Hardships you had to endure. People not understanding you. That's a big one. People misunderstanding you, not really getting who you are. Opportunities or chances that or recognitions that you think should have gone to you instead going to somebody else. There was another sign that got that. I think Gemini's got something very similar in that right there about that. So that's what's coming up with Page of Cups. Now you got the Five of Rods with it. That's a struggle. That's an internal struggle going on inside of you. Or it could be a struggle with coworkers, family members, love partners, friendships, any club groups or organizations you belong to. You could be having a struggle with them. But my guess is it's going to be an internal struggle because of what already came up in your Page of Cups card. But we have to see what my guides say. I feel like there's things that you want to get clear about. Some of you could be struggling with some things that have gone on in your family, or family orientation could be a source of like struggles internally for you, or outwardly. You could be struggling and having arguments and struggles with family members. You could have family members that could be critical of you. They could be saying, you ought to be doing this. You need to be doing that. Why aren't you doing this? How come you're not doing that? Or you should this, or you should that. You could have people being like snarky, bossy, uppity, dictatorial, trying to tell you what you're doing wrong, where you went wrong, what you should be doing, why aren't you doing this or that. That could be coming up for you now. And that could be, oppressive to you, disappointing to you. You could go through some kind of disillusionment with them or yourself, or a combination, because of them doing that and saying that. But you could be doing it to yourself. So some of you, it's not coming from outside sources. Some of you, it's not coming from your family. Some of you, it's coming from you. You're doing this to yourself. So you got to be real careful, Pisces, of going down memory lane, because that's dangerous, dangerous ground for you. because it's going to drive up things that you are disappointed about or feel sad about, where you felt misunderstood or you didn't get the right chances or opportunities you should have. And it could make you focus on that. And when you do that, you can bring that to you again and it could be repeated. When I took psychic development classes long ago, 28 years ago, 29 years ago, my psychic development teacher, he's now passed away, he always said to us in our class that when you go back on your timeline and you focus on the things you didn't like, you're putting your energy and your emotion into them, and you're bringing it back into the present, which can affect you right now, which then in turn could make it repeat or have something similar to it happen in the future. So he used to tell us, go back in your timeline of when you go down memory lane, or if you think back to the past of anything you didn't like, you go in your mind and you change the outcome, change it. And even though you're like, well, that's like lying to yourself. Well, change the outcome of the past. And then that way, you're not bringing it forward into the future. You're going to create more of what you do want. Just something to think about, Pisces. I'm not sure I explained it well, but that's my message for you with what came up here in this reading. So I hope this reading was of help to you, and I hope it made sense. As always, thank you so very much for watching. I do truly appreciate it. Thank you for your likes, your shares, and your subscribes. You're wonderful viewers. I don't know what I'd do without you. I truly appreciate you all, and I do thank you so much for watching my videos. And I want to thank you so much for your purchases of my Vimeo videos as well. And now I'm on Patreon. I've got the same videos available on Vimeo. They're available on Patreon. So I do appreciate all of your purchases there. It does help keep this channel growing and going. And if you would like to get the two most recently recorded video series I have for you is my Uranus and Gemini Psychic Tarot readings for the 7-year transit. Uranus will bring surprises, change. It will also bring, blessings, but challenges too. So I looked in all those areas for you. There are 8 cards in each reading, 8 tarot cards, plus an oracle card. So you may want to check out those Uranus and Gemini Psychic Tarot readings. Covers a 7-year time period. And my Horseshoe Tarot spread, my Horseshoe Tarot 7-card spread Psychic Tarot readings. They cover a time frame from July of 2025 through July of 2026. So it's a year of predictions. There's 7 cards in the layout. It's a lot of predictions and messages. And don't forget my Psychic Crystal readings for August. If you want to get a more expanded view of what I get in my tarot readings for the beginning of each month, you may want to hear what my guides have to say in the crystal for you. Also, don't forget to follow me on Patreon. I do have a tier you can join. That's a paid tier. Right now, I just have one paid tier. I don't know if I'm going to add more. There's special written content, early access to my full moons, new moons, and mid-month update videos. I may add more to that, but I am putting a lot of written content on there you can't see anywhere else. There's free membership there too. There will be some things for you to see with that, and you can buy my videos on the shop tab if you want to buy the individual crystal readings, mid-month updates, mid-year updates, Saturn in Aries, Neptune in Aries, Horseshoe Tarot. The list goes on and on and on. So all those links to Vimeo are down below in the description box in the Show More section, and they're on my website at theluckymermaid.com on the videos page. And also my link to Patreon is on that videos page, and the link to my Patreon is down below in the description box. So I hope you have an absolutely, absolutely amazing rest of the month of August and beyond. And know that I wish you many blessings and peace.